Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about Andrew Huberman's routines, morning reset, night reset, call it the way you want. The idea being that you go to bed every night at the same time and wake up every morning at the same time. So why is that important? Well, that's important to have a healthier life. Obviously, sleep is probably the most important thing together with drinking, breathing, and eating. But it's extremely important for regenerating your body, for feeling well rested, for being more efficient, being more productive, and the list is endless. So I could make a whole video about why sleep is so important. But we all know it's important, but we often neglect it. We don't do what should be done. So what should be done? Sleeping has some very easy hacks to, improve its quality and live a better life. One of them is consistency and routines. Consistency and routines as far as go to bed at the same time every night, wake up at the same time every morning. Your body naturally adapts to that rhythm and you will end up waking up without needing an alarm. That is, like, to me, the ultimate goal as far as sleep goes. So how do you do that? Well, basically start today, go to bed at, let's say, 10 p.m. and set your alarm for 6 a.m. No matter what, you can't fall asleep, you don't sleep well, get up at 6 a.m. Just do that. That's non-negotiable. And start doing whatever it is you want to do. The day after, you repeat that. So tomorrow you'll go to bed at 10 p.m., wake up at 6 a.m. And then you do it again. Roughly after 3 days, that's what Andrew Huberman says, you should be adapted to your new sleep routine. I notice it takes a bit longer than 3 days, especially if you're doing a massive change. So if you're someone that normally goes to bed at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., you're going to struggle, falling asleep at 10 p.m. But that is the trick. It's not when you fall asleep, it's when you wake up. And what helps is, sounds counterintuitive, but you're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel like shit because you're not having a good sleep the first night and so on. But you're going to be tired. So most likely you will fall asleep. Let's say not at 10, but at 11. And that's part of the resetting process. So that is extremely important. And then how can we tweak those the sleep quality? How can we improve that sleep quality? How can we help falling asleep? How can we help staying asleep? So one magic trick, which you'd be extremely surprised and never think about that, is caffeine intake. So reduce it and change the timings. So I normally go to bed at around 9 p.m. Then I read for half an hour or so, turn off the light, and then just fall asleep. I drink my last coffee at 11 a.m. That's it, no more caffeine. If I drink coffee a bit later, because I love coffee, I drink decaf, which you will be like, oh my God, decaf, but there's really good decaf out there. So just do some research and find one you like. But that is also extremely important to really remove caffeine. Not remove it completely, but just remove it past a certain time. That's key. And the next key element happens in the evening already, and this is devices. So your phone, your TV, your computer, your iPad, whatever has a screen. Try and turning them off if you're going to bed. Let's use 10 p.m. as an example. If you're going to bed at 10 p.m., turn them off at 8. And then use these 2 hours with low lights. And by low, I mean low also as far as height goes, like below your eye level. That is extremely important because of how the whole brain, the eye is actually the only visible part of your brain. So that's how it works. It's very important to have it below. And again, all of these Huberman hacks and science experiments and so on go down to nature. So why is it important to get light early in the morning? Well, sunrise, and all day you have it above your eye level. In the evening, it's going below until it's dark, and naturally there's no more light. So follow a little bit nature and logic as well. So reduce the amount of lights in the house. Candle lights are actually perfect. So I normally use candle lights. I actually happen to have some candles just over here. And yeah, so just basically do these few little things. You don't want to start with doing too much. If you try and do everything in one go, you're just not going to work. So reduce light, reduce device usage in the evening, and basically just try and unwind. Put some relaxing sounds on. Just create an atmosphere. Literally something like, oh, nice. And the other very important point is what you do in the morning. So wake up. I normally do, this also comes from Huberman, a thing called Yoga Nidra. And this is some sort of, I would say, that's my own description, is not what you find online probably, but it's some sort of guided meditation and body scan. So more than a meditation is, because a meditation you're trying not to think, where here you're really focusing on scanning your body. And these, it sounds super strange, but it's some sort of efficient snoozing, I would say. I'm the worst snoozer on earth. Like I could snooze for 2-3 hours, but since I started Yoga Nidra, I just don't snooze anymore. As soon as the alarm goes off, and I'll talk about my alarm in a second, as soon as the alarm goes off, I just quickly go to the toilet, little wee, come back, and put my headphones in, start an app on my phone. There's plenty of free videos on YouTube as well. I don't go the YouTube way just because I have a second phone that I only use for, it's an old phone and I kept it, and I use it just for meditation and mindfulness. So I have that next to my, on my bedside table, and that's the one I use for, mindfulness. So I put headphones in, I just start the meditation, the Yoga Nidra app, and I do it for 15 minutes. So it's 10 minutes guided Yoga Nidra, and then 5 minutes Shavasana, which means you're basically just laying there and resting. When I was going to try it the first time, I was a little skeptical. I thought, I'm probably just going to fall back asleep. But the opposite actually happened. It really made me aware and slowly woke me up. And even mornings where I was waking up feeling like, I just, game changer, like energized, feeling good, ready to go. And this is something I just cannot explain, and I haven't dug too much into it and the science behind it. There is science behind it actually, so I know it's interesting, but I haven't had the time yet to research the topic. But yeah, definitely give a go to Yoga Nidra. After that, I just 2-3 minutes on Duolingo, study Spanish. And then I take my supplements, I take the dogs for a walk, I come back, I feed them, and yeah, that's pretty much my morning routine. I do drink coffee. It's a different coffee. It's not like traditional coffee. It's called Four Sigmatic. I might put a link down in the description. And what this does is it has lion's mane, which is a mushroom, in it. And this helps big time with focusing and being more alert. And I love it. I don't drink it every day because I don't want to be alert and focused and efficient and productive every single day. I also want to have days where I can just, if I have a few meetings with work, I don't need to be full on proactive and creative. And so I can just join the meeting. I don't need to drink coffee. So that's the type of caffeine intake I have. And yep, so normally I wake up around 6 a.m. and between 6 and 9 I get all my things done. Sometimes that includes a short training session, either on the indoor trainer, the bike, or treadmill. And when I go to the swimming pool, well then it kind of messes up a little bit my morning routine, but it's fine. I try to get it done at around 6:30 in the morning. And this is about it. So to sum it up, or if you haven't yet, please like the video, subscribe, and I'll post more of this little life hacks. And again, keeping it low key. I don't want to be that crazy animation, full on video editing. Like, this is my very modest setup. I try to share my knowledge, my experiences, and the things I've learned, the things I keep learning, and hopefully that can help you and you're not too focused on how my window looks like and how my plants look like. And so I need to do some trimming over here, right? But yeah, to sum it up, avoid caffeine past, I would say around 12 hours before your bedtime. That will be ideal. 10 is still okay. Avoid alcohol in the evening. 2 drinks a week. 2 drinks a week. It's what is allowed, not even recommended. Anything above that is not good for you. And that's, again, backed by science. I know it could sound sad for some, but I used to drink a beer every day after work or 2. And after seeing the data, I'm like, it's just not worth it, So yeah, cut back on alcohol, drink alcohol-free beer when I feel like a beer, and then occasionally I will have a whiskey that I really enjoy, or a glass of wine, or something like that, but I keep it to a minimum. And sounds weird, but do that a little earlier in the day. Don't drink at 8 a.m., please, but also don't drink at 10, 11 p.m. if you want to go to bed at that time. And that's not. It is going to affect your sleep negatively. Even just one glass of wine at dinner, it's impacting your sleep. So do it, drink your glass of wine every now and then, just don't do it regularly. Lights, very low lights in the evening, turn off your devices. And then in the morning, try and have lights on. And one thing before I forget, the alarm I was talking about, I'll also put a link down in the description to something similar to what I have. But rather than waking up with the sound of something, I wake up with a light. So I set it for 5:55, which is when I want it to be at its brightest moment. And that means half an hour before it starts turning on. And then it gently comes up, and basically I wake up with a light. I recently went to Spain and Portugal for almost 2 months with my camper, and I didn't have that light in the camper. And this massively impacted my entire day. Waking up without light, it always started off on I wouldn't say on a wrong foot, but it just made things much harder. So seriously, give it a go. I've been using it now for, this model I have here, I bought it 10 years ago. It's from Philips. It's working really well. But I've been using the same system for 15 years or something like that. And I just absolutely, I couldn't go back. I was looking for like a 12-volt version for vans and campers, but it's not out there. And I might just bring that with me next time I travel, because it's a massive game changer. So yeah, take my supplements, do my training, walk the dogs. And when I've been sick now for a few weeks with COVID, which really lasted quite long. But normally I would have a cold shower as well. So no cold shower when you're already sick, because your immune system's already fighting something, so you don't want to attack it even more. But that's pretty much it. And really important, get into that routine of same bedtime, same alarm every single day, weekends included, and it will change your life massively. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.